Don't you hate it when you're streaming and you've got your music going and then an alert plays and suddenly your stream sounds like a chaotic mess? So maybe you reach for the mute button on your desktop audio and right at that moment an opponent appears and it's too late. Can't OBS handle the audio itself? Well, yes. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to do it. We'll have a Stream Elements alert temporarily lower the desktop audio, which is a process called ducking. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that you have obs.live installed. So we're going to go into OBS, get that up on the screen. Not going to put my preview up here because that'll get to infinity mode. That'll be ugly. And we just want to make sure you have OBS Live installed to make sure. You just see if you have Stream Elements up here, then you are good to go. If not, then you need to make sure you do get obs.live installed. And that's not really part of this video. So go ahead and do that now. Then we'll move on. So the next step is to make sure that our Stream Elements scene that we want to use is in our scene. So we're going to, I've just got this little tutorial scene mocked up. Got my monitor, got my webcam. I'm going to add browser. You may already have one. We're going to create new, call it Stream Elements Test. Okay. URL. You have to know your own URL. Change the height and width. Now the real key here, the thing that threw me when I was first trying to do this little check button here, make sure that is checked. Control audio via OBS. If that is not checked, you are screwed. So make sure that is checked. And then suddenly, you had noticed your desktop audio, your mic auxiliary, and then you have this other audio here, Stream Elements Test, which I just added. That is suddenly here. That is, if you did it right, it will be there. You may also have other ones depending on your setup. If you did it right, that will be there. And so now we need to go into the desktop audio and add a filter. And this is the real part. So I muted my current one, but we'll create a new one. Just add down here, go to compressor, and then we'll just call it our alerts compressor 2. I have alerts compressor 1. And you've got your ratio. And with ratio, the higher it is, the more you're going to mute. I found that 2.5 was a good amount for me, where I still hear a little bit of the music, but it's been greatly reduced in, for when the audio from the alerts come in. Threshold, let's put it really low. I'm going to go like -50, somewhere around there, because there's no random background noise in a Stream Elements alert. It's just pop, it's coming in, and then there's nothing. Attack instant or as fast as possible, so the 1 millisecond. Release, we're going to go as long as possible on this, the full second. And the reason for that is if there's an alert that has a little bit of a, beat, as long as it's less than a second, it's going to keep the music low. Whereas if you've got a very short release, music can all of a sudden pop back in from the background, because it didn't give it enough time. I'm not going to do any output gain. And then of course, we're going to look for our side chain that we're using is the Stream Elements test that we created earlier. So we close that. And now we should be ready to go. So next step is to test it. And now finally we're in the testing phase. So we're going to put a little bit of a drum beat in the background. And you can see with this drum beat that we're kind of peaking just below the red here. And then when we play an alert, let's get that going. Right, just a built-in cheer alert from Stream Elements now. You see how it's peaking a lot lower, but then after about a second, starts to go back up to where it was, and that controls the chaos of the audio and should give your viewers a much more pleasant audio experience when listening to your stream, which is really important. So I hope this helps you, and I will see you again.